Previously on Nerd Talk.
Sure.
Oh,
Yes, you collect Grogu's.
oh
No,
gosh.
everybody don't do
I
that,
have
but you do
so many
that.
Grogu's. I have so many. Look at Mr. Toy of the Year. Look what he does. Come on, show them. And if you lay him down, he goes to sleep. He's falling asleep. And he snores. I had so many of this one. Like this one was $70 when it first came out, but then they made too many like they always do in Costco because me and Costco, man. Costco brought them down to $40 and I know, so many. So many. I don't even remember how many I had of this exact one, but I gifted them all. I only have this one that I kept and one that I gave to my mom, but I
Okay, Grogu needs to leave the chat. Hey nerds, welcome back to Nerd Talk, where we talk about topics such as our favorite games and movies and TV and films, all the fandoms, and it's me Silver.
and I'm Ray.
So today we're gonna be talking about Fallout.
Woohoo.
Fallout. I love Fallout. I love this show. I love the game. I didn't play all of them, but I've obsessively played Fallout 4 since 2015 when it came out.
Gosh, 2015.
Yes,
It's been out for 10 years.
Yes, it came out in 2015.
Oh my gosh.
No, so old. But I think the reason I didn't play it initially, or I didn't play the other Fallouts, because I used to be against shooting games. I didn't like first-person shooters. I like role-playing games, and I think Fallout 4 is. I think all of them are kind of role-playing, but the other ones were more shooting. So I just didn't do guns at all. I had Zelda, which was bow and arrow and sword and shield, and so I was into games like that had a sword or something. Fallout didn't. So that's probably why I didn't play them initially. But then I saw the commercial for Fallout 4, and I was like, that looks fun.
And it's world building, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a role playing game. You build up levels and stuff. Yes, there's lots of guns, and it does have melee weapons, but I don't like melee weapons unless it's Zelda Fable or something where it makes sense to use a sword or something. But when you're in a post-apocalyptic, futuristic world, you're like, I'm not going around with a sword. But
yeah.
some people do that. They play all melee gaming, but I was like, oh, no. I need to be able to kill you from as far away as possible.
I need to kill you as efficiently as possible.
You don't have to be as far away. Preferably, you don't even know that I'm there, and you're just gone. So, yeah. So, I've been getting the loot crates for Fallout. That's a more recent phenomenon. I was getting the Harry Potter ones just because I wanted the T-shirts, and then I was like, I should get some Fallout T-shirts like this one. It's Fallout 4 Vault 111's on the back. There's the holes in it already though, so but
so it says Fallout 4. You said you haven't played the other ones, or you have?
I played a tiny bit of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 1 came out, I think, like a long time ago.
It has to be forever, because if this was 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it came out. But yeah, it's been a long time. And then Fallout 2. So they were so old in that they were kind of like, Fallout 1, I think, is like kind of like a Dungeon and Dragons type of like layout type of thing, or like Diablo, like the first Diablo or something, where it's just very small. You can't even see your characters. It's little, and then like you go from one room to another. A lot of people love it though. But that was.
It was not for you.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that kind of a game. And then Fallout 2 came out, and it's more advanced, but it's not advanced. And I think it had like a lot of different developers in those days too. But I think around Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas is when for sure Bethesda had it. And I'm not touting Bethesda. Lots of people have issues with them, but they made a great game. And I really like it. Just because I like to save people and I like to collect people. And you can do that in that game.
Nice.
Like in Fallout 4, you have companions that can come along with you, and then pretty much you can keep them forever. Like they assign them to a settlement.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, I think, is the first for with settlement building. So I don't think Fallout 3, and then you had settlements that you can grow and like create like supply lines between them and stuff like that. So you weren't like making a community so much so in the other ones. But I don't know specifically because I didn't play those fully through. I plan on playing them at one day here on the Twitch channel or something to be like play games that I've never played, which I have hundreds of games that I've never played. Because people like to see when you've never played something before.
Yeah, then they watch you learn and
Yeah, they like
succeed.
to see
Yeah.
fumble or help
Or
you,
not
or
succeed. Yes.
yeah. Some people like don't like backseat driving, but I would be the first one to be like, tell me everything. Where is it? What's happening? What am I supposed to be doing? Tell
That's
me.
funny.
But yeah. So for Fallout 4, the story is the characters called the Lone Wanderer. I think they all have a different name in each one, but in Fallout 4 it's the Lone Wanderer. He's spoilers. Frozen. He or she can be male or female. They're frozen in and for 200 years, and they wake up and somebody kidnapped their son.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
I think of Sean often.
Why?
Well, I didn't follow through, so I don't know what actually happens to Sean. So I'm like, man, whatever happened to Sean? Where'd he go?
For a long time, I didn't play to the end of the game. I just don't like to play the end of games for some reason.
Oh, because then it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's the same as writing though. When I'm like, I don't want to be at the end.
Yeah.
But I did eventually play through to the end. I think I had seen what happens to him before I played to the end though. So, because I like to watch other people play video games too. So, and especially games that I play too. I definitely like to watch other people play the games I'm playing. And
see if they have like the same experiences.
Yeah, and sometimes I play at the same time, and then it's like we're playing together. So that's fun. But yeah, the son gets kidnapped, so that's your objective: is to find your son and avenge your spouse's.
Sorry, getting my water.
Avenge your spouse's death. You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing in the game. But then you end up. The joke about it is you end up just exploring, and everybody's like, oh, forget about your son, you're not worried about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what happened to Sean? Like, even when I was watching you
play,
we're
not worried about that. We're taking over the Commonwealth, that they call it, or Boston. Used to be Boston.
I think I was watching you take over, like, what is it, like Nuker World or Nuker World? I watched you do like that whole saga, and I'm like, this sounds great. We're theme park people in Orlando. Yeah. But where's Sean? Like, what happened to Sean?
We're not worried about Sean. We're living our own life. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, people rarely go to get the sun. Because I think in Fallout 3, it's the opposite, where like your dad goes to get water or something, and you have to go and find him or something. I think this TV show is kind of like that. The dad gets kidnapped. And she goes to find him. Is the show based on 4, or is it? No, it's its own story. So it's not one of the actual stories. And I don't know where it is in the timeline, because each game is at a different timeline. Like, because Fallout 4, the bombs fall in 2077. Yeah, but it's like 1950s looking, but in like the future. Yeah, because history diverged. From the 50s or whatever. So when they created the nuclear power and stuff, instead of like making a lot of weapons like we did, yeah, which they still did that, but they used the nuclear power to get people do like different technologies. So they didn't create like the things that they had in TVs, like the whatever they did to make the electronics smaller and all those, like the microchips and stuff. They didn't create that stuff. They created nuclear power stuff. So they needed more room for the nuclear reactions, I guess. So the cars were bigger, and they had nuclear powered cars and robots. I think the robot's my favorite. Their little robot. Yeah, people have their own household robots to do all the work and stuff. But yeah, it diverged. That's where in our history it diverged in around the 50s. So that's why it kind of looks 50 still, but it's the future. So yeah, it's 2077. That's when the bombs fell October 23rd, 2077, when the world ended. So,
We'll be
um,
alive for that, so we gotta make a mental note.
yeah.
Like,
Well, like Back to the Future,
like Back to the
2015.
Future.
Where's my
Yeah.
cars?
Yes.
Where's
That's
my
what I was
flying
thinking.
cars and my hologram movies?
That's funny.
But yeah. So in 2077, I think Chinese or something
Mhm.
did the bombs first, or it could have been American. You know. So I think because it was like the Red Menace is like
Mhm.
China,
Yeah.
and then once one country starts blowing off bombs and the rest of them,
Everyone's gonna
and then
follow.
that's the end.
Hmm.
Um, so then you get frozen, and then you wake up in 88 or something. Like it's like 210 years later.
Wow.
20
Can you imagine?
2288 or something.
Because they went in those bunkers thinking it was going to be quick, right? Like
Yeah, well, every single vault has its own.
release time.
No, every one of them has its own experiment.
Oh, but they
So
didn't know that. The people going in
yeah, the
there.
people going in don't know.
Yeah.
They expanded on that a little bit in that show,
Mhm.
where they talk about the people who like developed the vault, like the Vault Boy.
Mhm.
He was based off this actor who did like a commercial for the vaults,
Mm.
and so like one of his things from his like
Mhm.
cowboy show or whatever is like thumbs up. And so every time somebody sees him, he used to do birthday parties or whatever,
Mhm.
and they would be like, "Do the thumbs up," and he's like,
I imagine, right? That would get old fast.
yeah. So his wife helped develop like the vaults and the vault program,
Mhm.
and that's how he ended up in the commercial because he was doing a favor for her. Because usually
Wow.
he's like, I don't want to do commercial, but he did it for her, and so he became the face of the Vault-Tec. Who
Mhm.
created these vault, but they were all to like get funding or whatever. They were trying to tell people like, oh well, in your vault you can do whatever you want.
Mhm.
So a lot of like scientists and stuff were doing experiments in the vault. So in Vault 111, they froze everybody, projectly froze people
Wow.
without their knowledge. So they didn't tell you ahead of time. Like the machine, they're like, you're gonna get disinfected, and we're gonna take you further into the vault. But there wasn't any further into the vault.
As soon
It
as
was
they went in
just
there.
frozen
Yeah.
pods, and then the beds for the people who were watching over them until they left, because they weren't supposed to watch them long term.
Mhm.
They were going to be remotely watched by
Mhm.
Vault-Tec.
Yeah.
But what happened was everybody died.
Yeah.
So unless you were in a vault and you were in a long-term vault where people were actually alive and like reproducing, everybody outside the vaults died. So there was nobody monitoring.
Did they monitor it at all, or was it all people die like pretty much right away?
No, because in the lore of the vault, when
Mhm.
you read the computers and stuff, they talk about getting the all clear signal from Vault-Tec.
Mhm.
Like even the people who were there who weren't frozen, they were supposed to wait 180 days when it will be better after nuclear war.
Yeah,
or
radiation
fallout.
lasts for like
No.
20, 30 years. You can't go out at no 180 days.
But they were waiting to get this signal from Vault-Tec, but the signal never came because they're all dead.
Yeah.
If they aren't in their own vault, they're dead.
Yeah, that's true. See, like that's stories like that. I mean, obviously it's a game, it's not real, but it's kind of like zombies in a way because that can happen. Like
Yeah.
it's very possible that even less than 40 years from now, because 2077 is like 40 years from now. Wow, that's crazy to think. But
Yeah. Well, in this show though, they expand on it some more. Like a lot of the people who developed the vaults, they ended up in this one specific vault where they were also frozen.
Mhm.
And so you would see people who, because they would do flashbacks from before the
Mhm.
fallout and then
And
afterwards.
after.
And even like the main guy, the ghoul, he was looking for his daughter, so he expects her to be alive. It's 200 years later.
Yeah.
You expect your daughter to be alive somewhere, you don't know what happened to her.
Yeah.
But they had a place in the vaults because the wife created the vaults.
Yeah.
And so he was, and then one person he saw in his past was in the future, and like everybody was like worshiping her or whatever. And she looked the exact same age she looked when he saw her 2 years earlier. So obviously she was frozen somewhere.
Mhm.
So there is a vault where the people who are higher up in charge of these vaults were frozen somewhere. So that was interesting too. So I'm looking forward to the next season. I don't know when it's gonna be, but just to see more information about it, it's just interesting, the lore. But there's different vaults. There's all kind of vaults. One vault, and you can go to in Fallout 4. They train child soldiers, and then as soon as they get too old, like either they become part of the scientists who is doing the experiment with the children, or they kick them out of the vault.
Just to live in the outside.
Like, we're only doing kids here. Like, or there was one, there's Vault 81 where people still live there, and they've been reproducing this whole 200 years and just living.
But they've never left the vault.
Yeah, they don't leave, but they've opened it up for other people to visit and like trade with them, because their vault's like falling apart. It's 200 years old.
Yeah.
So they have to get supplies from outside to keep it going or whatever. But there was an experiment there, but the overseer, which the person in charge of the vault, decided not to do the experiment after the fallout. So the experiment was, they had like mole rats, kind of like guinea pigs, so they can do experiments of like every disease on the planet or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were gonna give the people diseases, and then like I guess find cures.
Brutal.
But the people would be the guinea pigs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was one vault where they wanted like to have a bunch of rich people there. But then the overseer would be like a crazy person from off the street who like didn't believe in anything. So they wanted to see how these rich, privileged people would react to like this crazy person being in charge.
Spoiler, that's America right now.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
So yeah, there's different ones. Like there's one in Bar Harbor, which is a DLC like Nuka World, where all the people got their brains put into the robots. So I forget what they're called, but they're like, you could see the actual brain.
Like cyborgs, kind of, but
yeah,
you can see the brain.
You can see the brain, but they were like all rich people too, because you had to pay for it. But they're all robots, so they're all living as robots in this vault. And then there's like a murder at the vault, and they come find you because you're like, there's no police, so they're like, we need a detective or whatever, and you're like kind of a detective in this place, and so they find you and they're like, there's been a murder in our hotel.
And there could be like an endless. How many vaults are there altogether?
Well,
they don't know.
The one you come out of is 111.
111. So yeah,
nobody knows how many, because nobody knows about all the vaults. But that's something they bring up in the show too, is that there's like a record of all the vaults somewhere.
So they got to go to the record.
And so some people know, like, they're about the other vaults, and they're like, how do you know about my vault? Like, because when she comes out looking for her dad, she runs into a scientist, and he knows all the information about her vault, even though they've never left. And she's like, how do you know everything about our vault?
Crazy.
Obviously, because the people who created the vault, they are still around.
Yeah.
And they have all the information somewhere, So that's kind of like a crazy thing about it. It's like, who knows what? And are there people who created the vault somewhere still? Are they still frozen somewhere or whatever?
Do the writers of these games like write books about it, or is it just information you gather from playing the game?
Yeah, you get it from the game and
or
now,
the show
and
now.
now the show now. But yeah, they have all the lore and stuff in pretty much in computers, or they have like recordings of people from the past where they recorded something and you learn a little bit about it from that. But yeah, you have to read a lot and listen to a lot of things to figure out all the different stuff about it. But yeah, the main character's vault, the experiment there was like 3 vaults connected, and one nobody had ever been to. And I think a lot of the people who were in charge of vaults are frozen in there. Because her dad was one. Her dad was from the past. He came and like
the main girl on the poster.
Yeah, he started like reproducing and stuff, and with these vaults, whatever. And they kept telling them like, you're the generation after the next generation is going to be the first one to leave the vault, and repopulate the country. They kept telling them, you're the best future for the country, and like, people still live above ground.
Yeah, like you're not
like, it's not just a desolate world waiting for you. It's not empty. There's people up there.
It's like that show, the 100.
Yeah.
Where they send the 100 and they're told that there's no one there either, and then there's tons of people still on Earth.
There's always going to be some people who survive. Probably.
Yeah.
Like in every kind of situation, unless the whole world gets destroyed, there's gonna be somebody somewhere who survived. Like one little island, even if it's every continent or whatever.
Yeah.
There'll be somebody. So yeah.
I mean, there's so many places we haven't even discovered. So who knows? Like there might be untouched civilizations that we wouldn't even think to bomb. So
Right.
they would definitely
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, so it's really cool lore, and that's one thing that makes it really interesting to keep playing it for 10 years, as you say.
It doesn't even feel like 10
Yeah.
years. But because I mean, you started playing Assassin's Creed, I feel like around the same time too. That one, the pirate one.
Yeah, and there's been like 5, 6 more Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, but I feel like the pirate Assassin's Creed and Fallout 4 are like the popular ones of those genres. Because like with Fallout, like of course I always mention conventions because I'm always at them, but you see so many people cosplay those big, like how big the suits get, and even like on the game where it's kind of customizable,
Yeah.
the cosplays become kind of customizable too. My neighbor that I mentioned previously, that he did those shark, oh my god, that cartoon we were talking about, the shark people or whatever.
Yeah.
He did all the sharks. He did a Fallout one too, and it was amazing. And I've seen groups of other Fallout people that I don't like, just people I don't know, but they
Yeah.
always have the music, which is one of my favorite parts of the game too, is the music.
Yeah.
And that one, I like to set the world on fire song or whatever. I like to. They just walk around with it, and I'm like, oh, they're the Fallout people. I can hear them, but it's cool. I like that. Like I don't play video games because it hurts my eyes, but I love the story. Like I'd even just read stories like that.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
okay, great. I mean, it's amazing that it's a game and now
It's a
a
playable
show,
story. To me, it's
but
just a
it's a
playable
really great story. Yeah. And with there being so many vaults and all the vaults doing different experiments, like the storytelling is like endless. If you're a good writer,
Yeah.
you have so much. And I mean, I'm excited to see the Halloween Horror Night because they have a Fallout house this year,
Nice.
and I am excited to see what that house looks like. I try to do all the houses at least once, and I know that's one of the big ones. They have like a commemorative coin, and Fallout's one of the featured houses. Of course, I mean Fallout's so popular. Of course, it's going to be one of the
Yeah, I mean,
the featured
it's a
ones.
pretty new show. Hopefully they come out with a new season soon because it was cliffhangery
Yeah.
when they finished, but it was really good. It really had the feel of the game. I don't know when it's supposed to be because like I think Fallout 3 is maybe like 30, 40 years before
Mm,
Fallout 4 because like one of the vaults where is another kid one where all the kids are in charge or whatever.
nice.
One of the kids who was the mayor, they leave at like 16, 17 because it's only supposed to be kids. So he's out in the real world and everyone's like, hey, that's that kid from that vault.
Hey, I mean, even just stories of kids and stuff, those always do good. Even if they're spin-offs or one-offs or
Yeah.
something, even if they were just to do like a mini series just based on one with kids, it would be such a hit. Because like look at Skeleton Crew with Star Wars. Like it was just, in my opinion, it's kind of like a one-off, but it was based with kids and everyone like just fell in love with them. That's
Yeah.
it. But I mean, that's kids' stories are always
Yeah,
great.
kids stuff's fun.
Always great, yeah.
Especially when kids are really smart and they're doing stuff better than the adults doing
Yeah.
it.
Because they haven't lost their whimsy like adults do. So that's great. I would love that. I would read if they made like comic books. It definitely sounds like comic books I would read in a heartbeat.
It's so much interesting stuff, and you just think about what would happen in the world if it crazy stuff went off, and the interesting part is like who started it. That's always
Yeah.
a question in the game, like who started it. And in the show it kind of makes you think Vault-Tec did.
Yeah.
They wanted to put everybody in the vaults and do these experiments.
So it sounds like they're kind of have their fingers in all the pots.
So they instigated these the bombs going off and everybody having to go into shelters or whatever. And I'm like, that's crazy if they did that. And then they didn't even live. Like
Yeah, maybe it got away from them. Maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
something where they were trying to make it that bad.
Yeah.
But it became that bad.
They wanted to get people to the vaults, but they didn't want the world to be over too.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's the only reason you go to vaults.
Yeah.
But these people in charge don't ever think about things in depth enough to prevent stupid stuff.
Like maybe they had to initiate the bombs in a way to get people in the vaults, but then they didn't have full control over how bad the situation got.
Yeah.
And then they failed in their own experiments, essentially.
Right. Well, and it wouldn't be like a news feed into the vault. Like, so you
Yeah.
could just lie to people, be like, come to the vault, the world's ending, and then they just don't let them out.
Wow.
But that, you know, that would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at all the toys or these figurines.
All your Fallout
I
list
don't
of the Loot
even-
Crate stuff?
Yeah, I don't even know what a Santatron is, but it's obviously a Santa looking.
That's funny.
It's a Protectron, but it looks like a Santa Claus. So
If I ever went to Holiday Matsuri, I'm sure at least one person would cosplay that.
I don't know which game it's from because I've never seen it in Fallout 4.
So it's just one of the other Fallouts.
Yeah, and then this is a regular Protectron. You see these everywhere in Fallout.
I think those are the ones I see a lot of people cosplay too.
Because there's 3 different kind of robots. There's an Assaultron, which is pretty much will kill you if it sees you because it has laser eyes, and it can move really fast. And if you kill its legs, it'll start laser beaming you and crawling after you. It's crazy. And then there's Protectrons like these. There's different kind of Protectrons. There's like police ones and medical ones and utility ones who just build stuff and. So there's like 5 or 6 different kind of Protectrons. This is just a standard one. But they use them for security and stuff like that. And I guess it's Santa Claus's.
Yeah.
It's a Santa Claus one. This is called a Wendigo Colossus. I don't know which game this is from either. Probably 76. But it's like a combination of a Wendigo, some kind of creature, and a machine.
It's a big one because it's just Colossus, so it makes sense.
It's probably huge. The only huge other thing is my mouse pad is a Liberty Prime.
Nice.
The Brotherhood build it as like a major weapon. If you join the Brotherhood side, I don't know what.
Is that like a blind box?
Yeah.
You didn't pick the one you want. I don't know.
You don't pick anything in Loot Crate. They just see you.
No, I mean on the blind boxes. Does they have like the options of what it is on it? No? Okay. The other one you have here does.
This is just, it says a Fox bus. I think this is a box for it. He's out.
Nice. It's detailed. Yeah.
And he's a super mutant. Yeah, so super mutants they're an experiment. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Where they created like this virus that makes people superhuman, but what happened was they turned into like green things who don't really have intelligent minds. They can talk and stuff, but their hands are too big to type and do that sort of stuff, and they kind of get dumber.
Oh.
They're supposed to be getting smarter, but they kind of get dumber.
So that one's a blind box.
It's like an FRB virus or something it's called.
And it makes them dumber.
Yeah, but it turns them into a super mutant. You can meet one guy from, I forget what it's called. It's a side you can join in there where they live underground and they are kind of like old timey because they never dealt with the fallout because they were underground. They say it's like remnants of Vault-Tech too. By those people, but it's been a while. I don't remember what they're called. But yeah, this is a bubble.
But if you turn it around, it gives you the different options you can get.
Collect them all. This is just series 1.
Yeah, so you see, that's what you do with blind boxes. You're like, I want to get this one, and then you hope you get it.
What it is.
It tells you which one it is,
Yeah.
and it's not a blind box.
It's energy weapon one. So this is endurance, lockpick, repair, perception, melee weapon.
Also, those are the other ones you can buy. Gotcha. I see. I prefer that because if this one I want, just let me buy that one.
Yeah, it's just telling you which other ones are in the series. I guess.
That's nice. Loot Crate has some nice stuff.
But this is energy weapon.
No.
It comes with a little gun. And they're bubbles. So,
I like it.
but you collect the bobbleheads in the game.
Nice.
And it gives you perks. So, like
Like the idiot savant one thing. Yes.
Well, that's a perk in the perk chart, but
Mm-hmm.
the bobbleheads, like energy weapon, will give you more damage with energy weapon. Endurance one will give you more endurance. Lockpicks will make it easier for you to pick locks. So strength gives you more strength, and so on and so on. There's one for each special. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, are you special? Is strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck.
Nice. All things you need in even just normal life, not even post-apocalyptic.
And that's Mr. Gutsy.
Nice.
It's like Codsworth, but it's a military one.
Nice.
So yes, the military have their own versions.
Of course they do. Not even surprised.
These all came in Loot Crate. I didn't order them. And I was trying to get t-shirts and stuff. So most is what I got.
Loot Crate is a great idea. I just feel like if you keep up with it, it's like a monthly thing, right?
Yeah. Some of them are monthly, some of them every 2 months. Just depends on how often they create, because they make it all themselves.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like, where would you put like all of that?
Right.
The collections are like, they get very easily
I had to cancel it.
multiplying.
This is too much stuff now. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all this
I know. I've never done a Loot Crate, even though there's so many fandoms that I like, but the Nickelodeon one was one I really wanted, but I'm glad I didn't do it because they had almost nothing Hey Arnold. Like every month I would just like listen out to see what people got in their Nickelodeon Loot Crates, and it was never Hey Arnold. Mostly like Rugrats and stuff and SpongeBob, which is fine. No hate against Rugrats and SpongeBob, but you know, Hey Arnold's my favorite, so I was like, I'm glad I didn't get it.
Yeah, they were starting to repeat on Harry Potter, which is why I put it in. I was like, I don't need the same shirt twice, or the same stuff again,
Yeah,
I guess they just were running out of ideas and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, that's the end, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I switched to Fallout. So I was like, I'll take some Fallout shirts. But then there weren't always a shirt in there, and I was like,
that's what I want.
I think the minimum you're supposed to have a t-shirt.
Yeah, and it's such a good bulk item. Like, why not put a t-shirt in there?
Right. Yeah, so Fallout. Any other lore or creature things you want to know?
Man, I gotta pull a silver on this one and find some fanfics to read. You know that there has to be people who have written about what's in all the other vaults. That sounds like a great thing.
For sure.
To read and see what other people's ideas of what experiments and stuff were done. I could totally see myself falling down a rabbit hole of reading that kind of stuff.
It's probably just books about the actual.
Yeah. I like, it's sci-fi-ish, and I love sci-fi stuff like that, and I would totally get behind reading it. I didn't even know, I think I remember you saying Vault 111. I just remembered that because it reminds me of Phantom of the Opera with Lot 666. So I think I've always known that, but I never even thought to think, well, if there's this vault is 111, obviously there's 110 other vaults out there. Right. I never even thought about it. Yeah, or if I did, I think I might have just assumed that each vault just had the same outcome. Like, I don't think I realized that each vault had like a different scenario, which is great. That's kind of, and I mentioned it already once, but it's kind of what I liked about the 100 when that show, like in the first season, where you saw like different, like Mount, whatever, the mountain that they landed by, and there was like people there who had not left the mountain, like the bunker underneath for a long time. And this is kind of the same as that vault where they never left. Like, I love stories like that because it's just, you see how people develop in different scenarios. It doesn't really happen that we know of as much in the real world, because these kind of scenarios don't happen in the real world. Yeah, so it's so it's a good topic to read about. So if it is happening, they have to keep this. Yeah, that's true. So it might be. That's funny. Yeah, but I'm looking forward. That's something I am looking forward to, is with it being officially Halloween now, because I have my shirt Once Disney and Universal start with Halloween, it's officially Halloween,
Okay.
not Summerween. As we know, I'm a Halloween all year person. It's just any excuse.
Yes, you wear costumes
I,
constantly.
I'm like, I'm ready for Halloween always. So, and that was one of the first houses that was announced. So, I'm very excited to see it. I don't do the Disney Halloween stuff anymore. I think I just outgrew it, but or they outpriced me. I don't know. One of the two.
Well, what
But
do they even do there? Do they have houses and stuff, or they just
no.
give out candy to little kids?
Yes. And it's the same every year. The same candy treat locations, the same everything.
It's boring.
The
Then, is what you're
parade
saying.
is amazing. Like I wouldn't mind seeing that parade once a year because I mean the normal 3 o'clock parade is the same parade every day, and I see that at least 14 times a year. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Halloween parade multiple times, but like to pay the amount of money it costs to go to Not So Scary just to see that parade, it unfortunately isn't worth it anymore. Like Halloween Horror Nights at least changes every year, and they have 10 houses, and there are 10 different houses every year. Um, sure, like the mazes kind of feel the same if you go a lot, but you just never know. Like the thrill is going to be different each time. Plus, of course, this year they have Five Nights at Freddy's, which we've been waiting forever. Like the last 4 years, everyone's been holding their breath on Five Nights at Freddy. When is it going to happen? So they finally did it this year, and it's a bummer that it's just a house. I know people are excited that it's a house. I'm bummed out. I wanted it to be a scare zone because you can take pictures in scare zones, and I'm a big picture person.
Sure.
You can't take pictures inside the houses, so and you can't really stop to look at things. Like you're supposed to be scared. That's what happened. I think it was last year. They had it was like the Universal monsters, but it was like the girls, like it was the Bride of Frankenstein and the Noxuna Moon. I'm like, I want to stop and look at them and love them and just absorb all of it. And it wasn't scary at all. I loved the house. Like I didn't want to leave it. At the very end, the bride, like at the very end of the house, the Bride of Frankenstein, she was like crying. And like that was the end as you were leaving, and I was like, don't cry, I love you. And she's like, then I was like, I love you even more now. I was like, I love you so much, and I did not want to leave. I mean, everything about that house screamed me. I was like, you have a house with the Bride of Frankenstein and a Noxuna Moon, I'm not gonna want to leave. I wasn't a big fan of Noxuna Moon, but you know, I told you my story about meeting Patricia at a convention and how she told me to get over it. Essentially. And ever since then I was like, yes, I love her now, and then here she is. But no, it was such a great house, and I wish Five Nights at Freddy would have been something else just so we could look at it more and enjoy it. But the whole thing about that is jump scares and whatever, so it's meant to be a quick literal jump scare and you're out of there. So I imagine that's going to be the house we're going to go to the most though. So I'll probably be Five Nights at Freddy'd out by the end of Halloween. But I mean that's the only thing I'm pretty much looking forward to Halloween wise. And putting up my inflatables, which I haven't put up yet, but I have my giant 5 foot. I have two, Amando and Grogu one because Pedro Pascal, and and my Grogu one that I have that I always put up. So, what are you
I
looking
don't
forward
want
to right now?
leave a Fallout episode without talking about the largest mod ever created by fans.
Yes.
Which is Fallout London. And then that just reminded me of like fan fiction, like I talked about Harry Crow last time, in that it's kind of a form of fan fiction to have fans create something. So that, and they've done a lot. They've done like a winter one where it's winter, you have to make sure you stay warm. Because it is set in Boston, Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 also allows a lot of modifications where you can kind of make the game your own. So that's why I think it's lasted 10 years where people have been on it for that long as well, because it's not just a base game anymore. Like you can do so much with the world and you can change around what happens. So that's really cool about it. And Fallout London's really fun. All the vaults are called penders, which I don't know why. I don't know the English reason for things. But it's cool. They have the voice acting with the actors and the accents. And, I think Liam Neeson was a voice actor for Fallout
Nice.
3, so I think it was a dad or something. But yeah, just it has a lot of room to still grow and develop in it because it's open. It's open source for people to modify. So
I remember watching you play that last year, and honestly, had you not told me that was a mod, I would never have
yeah,
known. It looks that good.
yeah,
And I know you were showing me some of like the Doctor Who stuff that was in it. There's like a
yeah.
bad wolf thing or
It's Bad
something.
Wolf.
Yeah.
You have to find 16 the TARDISes,
Nice.
or you find the TARDIS 16 times. It's the same one, I'm sure.
Yeah, it moves around. Yeah.
And then you get something, you find all 16, but I haven't found all 16
Oh,
yet. So I'm like, I need to find out 16 so I know what
that's funny. No,
happened.
yeah, I think that's great. I've seen the only thing I've experienced seeing mods in, because again, I'm not a big gamer, so I don't really follow this stuff, but I know in the height of Minecraft, people were making like amazing like mods and
Buildings and
stuff and
structures.
buildings and
Yeah.
structures. And even that I was like, dang, like how do people get this talent? Um Anna's son Tyson, he was so, I mean, he's in robotics, so he's like super genius, but he was so good at it. Like some of the stuff he would do, I was like, you could have fooled me. If you would have told me, hey, look at this new game that these professional people made, and he was showing me something of his, I would have totally believed it because that's how
Hmm.
good it was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whew, I maybe it's just 'cause my eyes can't handle it, but I can never see myself being able to do that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I wanted to for a long time create video games and stuff, but as you say, programming and stuff,
Mhm.
it's hard. It's
Yes.
difficult, and it's like math related too. And I
Hmm.
was like, I wasn't that good at math. I was an English
Yeah.
for professional. I wasn't doing math stuff, so.
Yeah. It's like if there's math involved, forget it. Just sign me out right now. I'm good.
All right. Well, what are you nerding out about?
Um, Not too much right now. I just I've been, I think I've mentioned it before, but I've been keeping this really detailed uh journal for like the books that I read because I read a lot and the different types of book, and we're past the 6 month mark. But I went back because I was like, someone was saying, oh, it's August and I've read 120 books. I'm like, already? Like that's gonna be probably my end game. And I'm like, here, I thought I read a lot. But it was nice going back and looking at all the different types of books I've read this year because I wanted to branch out.
Uh huh.
Um, I usually just read like either romances or sci-fi, like that was it for like years. I didn't read nothing else but those two, but I wanted to read other types, just because there's so many other good types of books out there. So I'm proud of myself for branching out. I did reconnect to start reading a lot of comic books again this year too. I don't know that I've counted those as my like in my book list of the year because I mean, I could read a comic book in like 2 seconds. Like, does that really count? You know, like, oh, well, okay, now that doesn't count. But like, I did read that All Four Seasons one. That was the new Superman movie was based off of. That was a pretty bigger book. And I did count that one because I read it like 3 or 4 times too because it was like, oh, hold on, I have to go back and reread all of this. And then I was like, if I went back to the beginning, I'm just gonna read the whole thing. So I read the whole thing like 4 times. Because that one was really good. But that's just been my like I guess not like my hobby because I guess cosplay is my hobby, but that's been kind of more like my for me it's just to like escape a little bit and just have something to read. And so I've just been really focusing on that list and finding new books. I like to only read queer books too, just because usually people who write queer books need more support, and I like to just support those kind of authors.
Mm-hmm.
But finding queer books that are within those other topics, you know, like historical and sci-fi and not just romance all the time. Because I mean, if you let me, I'll just read romance all the time. You remember I used to read Daniel Steele books in high school all the time, and that's all I would read. I only read like books like The Hobbit or other like better books because I had to because they were like required reading for
Yeah.
school. Um, And so I was like, I can't just fall into that niche. I want to read other books.
Sure.
So that's it.
Yeah,
Reading.
120 books. I feel like you're not doing anything else.
Hmm.
But I'm nerding out about muscadine grapes. It's muscadine season.
Oh,
I
something
love
deep.
muscadine grapes so much. They're my favorite grapes, and the season isn't that long.
No.
But we have a couple vines in the back, and my mom picks all the grapes for me. So I've been eating those for the past 2 weeks.
Nice.
Just grapes. And my weight's been down, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we're not gaining weight eating grapes. But they're so good. I probably have one good one in here left somewhere.
One good
One good one in. But yeah, they have tough skin. Ours are little because they're our homegrown ones.
Yeah, homegrown.
But the store ones are big, and I think they're
Probably modified.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're modified or something. But they're
Do you think these taste better? Your homegrown ones?
they're good. And just a lot of times the store they put it in there when it's green, as they like to pick fruit to green, and then because they have to ship it and package it and all that stuff. So we get it off our tree when it's ready. So
Yeah, you let them get ripe on the vine,
Right.
not ripe off the vine. Yeah.
So that's always gonna make them better. I do wish they were bigger because I just like bigger grapes.
Mhm.
But they're good, and I will eat them until we don't have them anymore.
You have bags and bags, so
Yes.
enjoy it for now. In the season.
My mom says there's plenty more on the
Good.
line, so but I gotta eat them faster because they'll just go bad. All right, that's the end of our episode. I didn't say everything I could think about Fallout, but I should have an outline or something next time when we dive deeper into these subjects or whatever. But that's it. Let us know in the comments what you love about Fallout and what you're nerding out about this week. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining us.
Bye.
Ciao.